Hello and welcome to this very new format of video. It's been a long time coming, but I'm finally making content like this that isn't just shorts. And also thank you for 50 subscribers. I'm here to teach you how I make beautiful work like this in MS Paint. So the reason why I work in MS Paint is because it's simple. And I don't really like to color pick and stuff like that. I personally believe if you know color theory, you can make any color yourself. And also, like, one of my art teachers in high school did not have a bunch of pre-selected colors. All the colors that they had were two versions of red, two versions of blue, yellow, white, and black. And you don't really use black that often. So we're gonna use the pencil tool in Microsoft Paint because it's a little translucent and you can build up the layers as you can see here. So what we're gonna do, let me go to the biggest size. We're gonna go to red, and then we're gonna go yellow, overlapping the red a little. Blue. We're gonna use both blues so that you can see the difference. And all of these colors come with MS Paint. My version of MS Paint is a little old because the computer I am on is a little old. So, and we're gonna, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna, and oh, by the way, this is not a scripted video at all. I'm just trying to teach you how to make colors because making colors is fun. So we're gonna make two versions of purple. One where it is more red and one where it's more blue, which is why I've extended the blue area just a little bit. So how we make orange, we start by putting the red down. I'm extending this a little more just so it can be a little more useful, not useful, a little more space. There's a little more space to see the example. Let me actually zoom in just a little bit. Yeah, it's either this or that, but yeah, this is okay. So when you really get in there, it kind of gives off the effect of orange. And if you want your orange to be more yellow, then have your final color be yellow. But if you want it to be more red, then put red on top. And I highly suggest using the pencil tool for anything because that's just the best way to build up layers instead of having, gosh, that was terrible, instead of having many, what was I saying? Instead of having you know what, let me exemplify that real quick with the marker tool. So we have a marker and it is somewhat transparent because you can build up the layer of color. But see how it got so opaque so quickly? If I went over all of that, and it becomes very overpowering. If that's the look you're going for, then by all means go ahead. but like it gets very muddy, kind of. So, how I personally use markers is more so as a base. Um, so say we're going for like an orange, since that's the color we're on right now. Geez, it's so hard for me to concentrate. So say we are going for orange. I can cut. Please do your best at cutting, editing me. So, say you want to get this to like a nice orange. Instead of using the orange that we already have over here and using this red, and instead of using this marker tool, which is going to make it look more red than any orange that we're going to make with using the pencil tool, we're going to lightly apply the red with the marker? No, with the pencil. And if you want it to be more red, add more red. So that's how I will only use this when I want it to be, hold on. I will only ever use like the actual secondary colors when I want it to be like subtle. We got this. There we go. When I want it to be like a subtle difference. When I want it to be, if I wanted this to be more of a yellow than it is red, then I would do this instead. Anyways, continuing on. Using yellow pencil, going over this, it is actually quite effective in the way that these colors get mixed. I personally prefer using this to get more of like a vibrant green, because using this is gonna get more like a deep, like, because like this is the kind of green that I go for, but this doesn't really get to that green. But yeah, and now it is time for purple. So now we're gonna take our red, we're gonna lightly scumble all the way down and extend it. Because that's where we're going to put the blues on top. And then layering each color is how you get it to be opaque, so you don't get the white through, which is what the marker would be good for if you just put it down first. The way I am struggling with words today is insane. And now we go to this blue, go on top of that red to get the purple that we're going for. It may be the purple that you're going for. Is this perfect by any means? No, but does it get the job done? Absolutely. Nope, I'm going for red. So now, boom, build it up, build it up. And I would say if you want it to look like one color on top, I would say just go one path and be careful not to overlap too much, because overlapping is just going to increase the opacity of the area that you are working with. So I will be back in a moment, but for you that's going to be like a few seconds, with a reference image, and I will try to recreate it with colors only. I don't know what reference I'm going to use, but That'll be a surprise to both of us. Alright, so now I'm back, and I feel like I have a good character that has good enough range for the purposes of this video. Gosh, I have to size this file down. Whoa. Yeah, I do not like the size of this canvas. Oh, wow. Let me change that. Me personally, I just like my files to be square and small. I don't know why, I just do. Alright, so I think, oh, frick. No. I have to do all of that all over again. Oh, because that counts. Oh my gosh. This is stupid. Put some fun music over this, because this is a fun time. A real fun time. I like only do flat colors, and I don't do shading unless I am paid to do it, or unless I feel like it, honestly. Unless I'm paid, and unless I feel like it. Those are the only two circumstances that I shade. Like if you would have to get me on a very bored day to think that I'm gonna be doing shading. But so now that we have our subject, we're gonna do a quick sketch. So Ragatha's head is the column. let me. This is take what we learned up here and apply it to here. So what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna use the base of this. And I think this might be like dead on. Like it's pretty close, but it's far from it. So we're gonna use that for the base of the dress. And also up here. We're just gonna assume that she is all of the same, so the lighting is not gonna be exactly like what is here. So this color is still the same color as this. They match, so I'm just gonna keep it all the same because it is all the same. Alright, and then after that, we're going to use this as the arm color. Like, and even when I shade, shading is never just add black. It is a very complex It is a very complex process. I think I'm gonna use this as the base and then make it more purple. But shading is never just add black. It is possibly adding the complementary color underneath and then going over with it in the color of the rest of what color the thing is. Wow, I'm so good at speaking and articulation. And then we have this all over the face, and then that's the same color as this. Boom, 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 boom. You know what's funny? I think I'm gonna go over her hair. Okay, the eye is gonna be this color. This is gonna be this color. I don't know why, but I feel like it'll all come together. And if it does, that extra proves that this method works. So we're gonna add a patch. I just want to add a patch here because I just love the different patches. So now we have this to start off with. It may not look that great, but trust me, after I'm done with it, it's gonna look like a Ragatha. I was gonna say look like the Mona Lisa, but like nothing compares to the Mona Lisa. So we're gonna start with the bow. We're gonna go from, you know what? Let's go from bottom to top. I was gonna say top to bottom, but bottom to top, because that's how I feel. So we're gonna go with these patches and making them look more purple. So I'm gonna select purple, and then after I select purple, I fill it in. The reason why I started with this desaturated dark blue is because it's cool tone. Like the patches are cool tone, but like they're cool with a little bit of warmness to it. So I put the original one down for that original coolness. This purple is for warming it back up. I'm just going to do this for all the patches because all the patches are the same color. They just are. And if there's like spaces in it, if you feel insecure about that, you go right ahead and fix that. But I'm secure enough in the fact that if there are some spaces like this, like this and this are not the same, but they're gonna look pretty similar once I'm done with it. So as I'm filling all of these in, I'm thinking, compared to the ones over here, what color do they need to be more like? What color do they need to be more like is the question I constantly ask myself when I'm doing a process like this. I'm thinking that it could be more blue. Why do I think it could be more blue? Because I think in the primary colors, either the primary colors or the color wheels, depends how I'm feeling, depends on the situation. But in this particular case, I'm talking about primary colors because the purple I'm putting on is very red, and the patches need to be more blue. So you know what we're gonna add? Green. No, we're not. We're gonna add blue to these patches because did I say blue? Yes, I said blue. We're gonna add blue to these patches because they need to be more blue. But we're not gonna add the blue that we put under it. We're gonna do this blue actually. Maybe size up the brush and then go over it. I'm telling you, that's pretty close without having to choose like use a color picker. This is all just me using my eyes. And it looks very accurate, by the way. So this is it, and then boom, 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 boom. So there we go. All the patches are darker. And now that I think about it, I feel like Ragatha's dress could be more saturated. Like this color that I use is a very desaturated purple. I'm gonna do something a little crazy. I'm gonna first of all make this brush. You know what? Keep it the same size. Go around when it needs to go around. And then after this, we're gonna go right back over with this color, but it's over this color. And you may be thinking to yourself, but didn't you just do that color just so it can look like Ragatha's dress? Yes, but at the same time, it's all about the layering. If you just put down one color, it's gonna look like that one color. But if you put down that one color, another color, and then that one color again, it's gonna look like that one color plus that other color plus the other color plus the same color that you put on top of both of those colors. It really will look different. Yes, her dress may not be accurate now, but let me tell you, it's gonna look a lot more accurate with this lavender that I put on the bottom right back over this deep plum. I'm gonna call this plum. I don't even know what the names of these colors are. Can I learn the names? Yeah, that's lavender. That's purple. But okay, so there we go. So now that she's not looking like the reference at all, we're gonna go back with lavender. And you may want to go in like a cross hatching direction. You can do whatever you want. This is my art process. It doesn't have to be yours. You can absolutely steal some of the techniques that I do and apply it to yours because that is how we as artists grow. We grow from taking from what other artists do and then put our own spin on it. I have never seen anyone do. Well, technically, I've never looked at anyone. I've seen people draw on MS Paint, but I've never seen anyone actually delve into their process of how they do anything. Like, I just see the speed paints and time lapses of the product, and then the product is finished. Now, I personally think that this dress is so much better than the dress we had before. So instead of just this lilac, we have lavender. We have lavender with this and with lavender again. So that's basically, so right here is basically the scale that we have gone through. We have went from this to this to this. It may not exactly be the same, but that is basically the exact same process we just did. So after that, we're gonna move to the hands. So Ragatha's sack hands are a bit more red than the light yellow. That is, in my opinion, this is a very ugly light yellow. Like, it's very, like, this is not even a light yellow. It's not pastel. It's very desaturated, and I hate it because I love me a saturated color. But we're gonna fill these in better to go over the guidelines that we did. And then we're gonna go back to our pencil and go to the pencil, size it up, and literally just put in orange. Because this orange is more red than the light yellow will ever be. And I think that's exactly what we need right now. Just a bit. Because we don't want it to be too red to where it is red. Because sack, like a burlap sack, is brown. And any brown that you ever encounter is literally just dark orange. If you do not believe me, go to Google color picker, go to orange, put it closer to black, and then you will have like almost any skin tone within that hue in particular. So we're just gonna make this orange, and we're gonna try to keep that as orange as possible without tampering with it. I say tampering like we're on a crime scene. But yeah. So now that she is giving Trump, we're gonna go back over it with that. Let's play a little bit. We're gonna do this, actually. Give it a little bit of in between this. And we're just like sketching this on because I don't want this to be like a whole thing, but it's gonna be something, certainly. And after we did that, and she looks like she has got third-degree burns all over herself, even though she can't be burned, we're gonna go easy on the light yellow. Oh my gosh, look at, oh shoot. We can bring that back. It's a pretty simple color. Her nose got a nose job and the nose is fully gone. I want my money back. So after that, we're gonna go through all the hand. And if you don't like it, put another color on it or remove the colors that you just put on. Because then again, remember, your art process is your art process. I choose not to remove color because that's a pain to think of a way to get it back. I do not know what I was thinking with making her hair that color, but you know what? I would want to make myself very impressed that I made it work. So we're gonna try to make it work. So we're gonna do this. Use this burgundy, dark red. And then after we're done using this dark red on every single yarn hair strand, Am I deluding myself into the fact that this is kind of sort of working, or is it just working? Because that blue really is doing something. Because notice how here it's not the same. It's really not giving the same energy. It's just giving her hair without. Hold on. Now we go to this. And then to. By golly, I think we've done it. Like, this is insane to me. Oh my gosh. I love the. You know what? Lightly go over this and then build up other ones. Yes, yes. The way her hair is actually eating, no licorice. If you get that, you get that. But then, now we're gonna go into more detail and like clean this up. So we have all of this rough work. Oh, the bow. I didn't render the bow at all that much. So we're gonna use this. Yeah, this is like the shading that I do. I do this and then I go over it with the same color. It may not look like I did anything, but I actually did it. And if I am not content with how it looks, I just go over it again because that is how it is done. In this world, you gotta fight for what you want because no one's gonna give it to you for free. Work for it. Alright, so now that we've done that, we're gonna go to crayon. And that is like my liner in this case. Because it's such a strong and it's so strong. I don't even know how this works. Oh, so it is pressure sensitive. I'm using a drawing tablet, so that's all the lines that I'm getting from it, but I digress. I'm gonna zoom in and fill this in. Comment down below if you're still watching, or if you're drawing right now, just trying to listen and lock in on a school project or just a project you're doing for leisure. Give me your favorite Amazing Digital Circus character. I personally don't have a favorite of anything. I am simply there for the ride. But if I do notice that I have like a bias against something, I will usually try to say that is my bias, but it's not my favorite, if you know what I mean. And also, the technique that I'm using here is like I'm putting like a harsh line on it and then going in with the pencil to soften it a little bit. And then, I'm telling you, it's all about the layers. It's all about the layers. Like, it's gonna be dark, but it's not gonna be as dark as the back of the bow. So now back to crayon and black and lining this entire thing. This is personally why I like MS Paint. Again, the simplicity and straightforwardness of it all. And like, I really shocked myself with how this looked. I wonder what kind of music is playing. Maybe something soft and delicate to match the vibe of the personality that Rakatha gives off or tries to give off. That she is calm, one minded, a leader, and that she doesn't want any problems with anybody. The way that this whole process like calmed my mind down, like honestly, to anyone that doesn't draw, you should really like give it a chance. Like, I'm saying that as a artist of multiple years, at least 7. No, I think I've been an artist for like a whole decade now, which is crazy to think about. But having something like art to just fall back on when you've had like a hard day and just unwind to do art an art piece of something that you like and enjoy is really just a very fulfilling thing. Is are her threads like, yeah, they're a darker blue. Alright, so let me shrink it. How small is that? Ah, perfect. And then we go over with that color. And then again, I am using nothing other than the. You know what? Hold on. Her nose is actually a little red, so I'm gonna start with red. Go over it with orange just a little bit, and then line it with black. Because there is no way that anyone. Because when you use like complex colors, when you use like complex colors like quote unquote straight out of a tube, there's for me not there isn't any effort into the work, at least that I get the perspective of. So if there is any way that you can make your art process last like a little longer, or honestly just put more thought into it, and like just think about it. I work like this so I actually think about the art process that I'm doing and think about the end product and the final piece that is going to appear before my eyes. Let me take a step back from it and like from what I've already done, I know that I'm gonna like the outcome of this because it just, I think I like it because it took me so long to develop this art piece in particular. I don't think it took me a long time to develop this style of this process, because it's not a style, it's a process. Because it is more of a process than it is a style. A style implies that it is the way that well, it is a style and a process. I'm trying to think of a way to word that. All styles are processes, but not all processes are styles. All styles are processes, but not all processes are styles. I think that's how I want to word it. All processes are styles, but not all styles are processes. Like, I mean, sure, you can certainly say a style is a process of like how long it took you to come up with the method of how you do anything in your work, but I really love Ragatha's hair because it really makes me think of how I have to like make the forms and intertwine, no pun intended, the hair. Like all of the cross hatchings of the hair, they're not going to be the same length. They're not going to have like the same curve to it either. So I really like Ragatha's hair in that regard, that it makes you think, how is this strand in particular going to be set from every other strand? Because I personally like when my art is messy like this. Like, did I need to make this into a strand of hair? No. I feel like it could have been better without. But especially this one, because there's nothing there. But something about it, I don't know what it is, but like something about the illusion of something was supposed to be there, but it's not, really does something for me in a good way. Like it makes it, for me, it makes it feel like I was sloppy, but yet intentional. Well, I know that I'm sloppy. Like all of this work I did was sloppy work, but it's very intentional, deliberate. I am thinking about everything that is going on. So, yeah. So that is just Ragtha's head. I believe it is pink. It is like a pink purple. Her eyelids, yes. So it is more purple than it is pink. So I'm going to start with pink. And as you can see from here, I have not gone into here to select any of the colors. All of these are the colors that MS Paint provides naturally. Ooh, wait a minute. Although I could undo it, I think this is going to turn out just fine. And honestly, if you have an idea and you may or may not think it will work, try it anyway, because you may find that oh gosh, thinking is very hard for me. You may find that the method you did and thought about is a lot more effective than the way that you're used to. We're gonna add more blue to the side of this button to really make it look like a shadow. And also another reason to layer, it's not the reason why I layer, but it just fills in the space. Like that would be one layer of color, and say that you wanted to like deepen the color. It eventually gets rid of the whites that is behind it. And like that color is not the same as that color, because there are still some holes in this brush. There's many different kinds of opacity when it comes to the pencil brush and Anonimus paint in particular. Ooh, now it's the dress. Now do we get detailed with it? I don't know. I think I will get detailed with it. Me personally, I feel like if I don't put the same effort into the entire piece, then it is lazily done. And that is just me. Is the mindset kind of toxic? Just a little? Well, it is a toxic mindset to have all the time. And too much of anything is toxic. But I find a nice moderation and a form of a way to be content with the work that I am putting in. Ooh, maybe not there. So, boom, boom. Funny thing is, this looks so great, and all I did was just line it and make it more crisp. Let me look at Ragatha's top. It's smooth. It's smooth, even though this is rough. Like, what she's wearing is smooth. So, we're gonna bust out the crayon again. Crayon. We're gonna, for the sleeve, the end of the dress sleeve, it's gonna be black. And then we're gonna bust out this and go over it with a light gray to make it blend in just a little more. And so it's not so harsh. You know what? I might do the same thing like with the hair and go over it with a red color pencil, but I will save that for the end to see if I truly like it, because I truly like this. I don't know if I will like anything else that I have ideas for. I'm only going to do it on that side because I did not make it on this side, and I kind of like, I don't know why, but I just like that area in particular. So we're going to go back to crayon. We're going to do like a nice thick orange. And yes, is orange the shading color here? Kinda, yes. Which is why I'm choosing orange. But at the same time, I'm choosing a dark color to have a light color then be brought over. Boom. And then like a lot of the fixes. That is so bad. And I hate that I did so much work into that one line. For those of you that need to hear this just a little more, remember to pick up your pen, your finger, when you're coloring. It happens a lot. I know you're probably like, oh, I've told myself this so many other times, but I'm telling it to you because sometimes it's just a thing that needs to be said by other people. the fact that I'm just talking and drawing this with all of you is fun. It's comforting. I usually just color and draw alone, listen to music. I can't listen to music because copyrights, and then I want to like monetize this one day, so that would really get in the way. And then add a bit of a curve to the hand. No thumb, but the thumb's tucked away. I say as I put the copium mask over my face. Now this looks amazing. Now we're gonna go back to the pencil and then go over this a little. You know what? Make it bigger because that's too small. And then go over it gently. Leave a little out for like to make it look like a line. So boom, boom. And while we have this color, we're gonna fill in some areas that looks like they could be filled in. Again, do what you like. I didn't like how it was looking a little gappy there. Oh my gosh. Don't you just hate it when you miss one small area so you have to switch back to the way it was and then switch back? I tend to like to go into a flow state, which is why I have that mild annoyance. But the only person that I can be annoyed in with is myself. And if I forget a whole area completely, I won't care. If I'm far past the point of caring, I will not care. Will my art get called AI? Maybe. Because quite literally the earlier today I was drawing one of my OCs, and on one hand they have 4 fingers and on the other hand they have 5 fingers. I did that on purpose because I didn't feel like going back to change it. Is it going to be canon that one of their fingers is missing, or they were just born that way? Maybe. I'll see how I feel. But I know I feel like not changing it because at the time I was very far into the coloring phase, and then I noticed and I'm like, oh well. So yeah, we are well into this. So we're gonna try to give this a lineless look because the Amazing Digital Circus is a 3D, yes, it is a 3D animated show, and the way to do quote-unquote proper art of it is to make it lineless. And when I say quote-unquote proper, that is just the words that come into my head. If it did not come into yours, that is perfectly fine. You are not broken. I just have standards that I'm wishy-washy on. It is so hard not to sing right now. If I wanted to sing, I would have to make a separate video and call it a cover. Because right now I have Fukuona Girl in my head right now. It's taking everything in me not to sing it out loud. I will link it in the description because I am an artist that believes in supporting other artists, no matter the size of them. Other artists, other creators, just anybody that creates anything. Because I believe in I believe in being the thing that you want to see in the world. And I want to see other people push out other people despite the size of them compared to this person that they're pushing out. Because when I one day get big and I'm still making videos, I am going to shout out small artists. I still shout out small artists right now. I shout out big artists or not well known artists. If you've seen my community post, I shouted out this one artist that I saw and I made sure to like at them because they had commissions open. And I'm like, you know what? If anyone sees my post and wants a commission, coincidentally, they have a person to go to. I don't think art should be gatekept. I feel art is something that should be shared. Now, certain types of art, and I'm not even going to fully get into that, should be not produced. And that is all I will say on that. I don't really have like any other thoughts. I'm just simply doing this progress. And then again, if you're still watching this, you're a trooper. And comment, you know what? Comment something. I know I told you to just comment something if at some point, but I forgot what that was. Comment your favorite fruit. And if your favorite fruit comes in an emoji form, just spam it with 3 lines of that fruit. Like, honestly, I like this because, like, look at the before and look at the after. Like, the before kind of looks like it's not even supposed to be there, like the lines. But now that I've done it, the lines look deliberate, the lines look like part of the piece. And even the parts that I just drew lines in for, I can color those and they will look so cohesive. For no good reason. They didn't pay rent. They didn't pay to be there. But I made sure they were there, and I made sure they had a spot at the table. I really just spout nonsense once I don't know what to talk about anymore, but I'm almost done. So, you will not have to listen to my ramblings anymore. But I do plan to make more videos like this. This video is definitely going to come out before I go back to school. And I'm saying this because I'm a person that believes in manifestations and intent. I was sitting on doing this for God knows how long. But it's been a while and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna sit on this anymore. I'm actually gonna sit down, try to learn how to put this video in the format that I want to put it into, and here we are. Almost done with this piece. It's been an hour of like filming. Not filming, recording. And I think with that, you know what? I would not forgive myself if I just saw this area and didn't do anything about it. But I think that we're not done. I keep seeing things that need to be done, and I will do them because I will notice that they're there. Our our fight attacks are different. If I notice that something's missing and I'm like, will they just forget that I did it? And I just hope that they will. Or if they notice it, they won't be too upset because I do a lot of art. I do a lot of art. So let me quickly just gray the color, and I think we'll be done here. Size. And then did I use the darker gray? No, I used the right gray. And I think we are done here. So that is how you use MS Paint. So this is how you use MS Paint and make a very good drawing out of it, because all I used were the pre-selected colors and the pre-registered brushes. That's it. And I hope, I'm so sad that this video has to be over, but I hope that y'all have a good day.